Good morning, everybody. Today is the last Sunday on the last day of July, and I'm glad you're here with me today. I was a little mistaken. I was thinking it was August 1st, and this is my one for the first week of August, but that's next week. So you get a bonus with me today. So do me a favor and let me know where you're joining in from. Of course, make sure that you always try to find a way to give hearts or whatever platform you're watching this on, or thumbs up or any of that. But do me a favor and just type in where you're joining me from, because we have people all over the world. Saratoga, sunny Saratoga. I know it's a beautiful day up there today, Stacy. It's the kind of day that poets dream of. That's kind of it. It was funny as I was getting ready today, and I just went on. I realized I was out in the sun. I was out in Stony Brook, New York, which, if you've never been there before, is fascinating because Ward Melville, the guy behind Tom McCann Shoes, those of us who are old enough to remember those shoe stores, he created this little village, and like a unique Northeast colonial village, and it is still fully leased and doing great. I tried to do a live video there, but the Wi-Fi signal is not so great, so you couldn't see it. But I was out in the sun, so I'm a little splotchy and all that from being on a ferry. And the exciting thing that I saw, that I hope you're seeing in your markets as well, is people are out shopping. Young, old, doesn't matter. They're out there. They're giving their laughs away freely. And the best servers are doing the same thing. Best hotels are doing it the same way. And yet there are still some people who have negative thinking, and they're just spreading that misery to everybody. I just like, why are you in retail? Why are you in restaurant? Why are you in the hospitality business? You hate your job, and thanks for spreading the hate. But that's not really what's fun for most of us. So let me see who all's here this morning. We got Charlotte just down in NYC. Thanks. Good morning. And John from Huntsville. Great. Cheryl from Salem, Connecticut. I must have passed by Cheryl, you yesterday, coming back through Connecticut. Connecticut's a big state. That's one thing I realized. Derek, glad you're here from Atlanta. Kathy's got her coffee here from awesome car gift. Hey, I'm glad you're here. And Michaela, wow, I haven't seen Michaela for a while. Car gift from Portugal, sweet, awesome. Well, as you come in, you can also join, and I respond to everyone. A little tip when you're doing social media, if you're going to do a live video, particularly, but any post, you want to go through, and after people have seen it or you posted it, within that first 30 minutes, whatever somebody has said, you want to give at least a 5-word reply, and not just like thanks or something, because the algorithms are looking for the number one thing, which is engagement. Are people actually engaging with you? And even better, when you're actually talking to each other on a post, like, yeah, that's what I think too. That's gold. Facebook has changed the dynamics. I don't know if you've been reading about it lately, but your stuff is showing up in front of people who are not following you, and vice versa. Some people get really mad at it. But one of the things that we're hearing more and more is it's trying to be like TikTok, which is putting things it thinks you like in front of you, whether you follow the person or not, as well as going to more video. The downside for most of us is, certainly for me as well, is my posts end up in front of people who have no interest in retail or something else, but because somehow the algorithm thinks it, I get really interesting comments on some of my posts. I'm sure you do. But somebody asked me about guidelines for social media. I do think it's a pay or play option at this point. Even if you just put $5 under a post for 3 or 4 days, you're going to have to do that, because quite simply, Facebook has lost ginormous amounts of money going after the metaverse, and they're laying people off like a lot of technology companies are. And so they are looking for, how do we drive ad revenue? So it's not fun, but you know what? It is what it is. So move along and don't be upset about it. Hey, David, glad you're here from Nova Scotia. Anna from Mexico. Sweet, sweet. So we have Richard went across the pond to France today instead of in the UK. So, the one thing that I am seeing more and more, in fact, in tonight's newsletter, I talk a lot about leadership. I'm getting a lot of calls on how do we develop leaders and all of these things. And I think it comes down to developing your bench. Most of us in retail, in a lot of businesses, the only way somebody can make more money is if we promote them to some version of manager, right? Assistant manager, key holder, shift lead, or the big one, manager or regional. And yet we don't give them extra training. And so that person who was great at one-on-one relationships with a customer, probably somebody that they knew, they had great clienteling skills, et cetera, was never trained on how to hold people accountable or what to say or not say and how to develop other people. Because frankly, you don't develop a business, you develop the people that work in the business and they develop your business. And so when you're thinking about it, you don't need to go crazy, but you do need to be thinking, how do I develop this person into a leader? And the first part of that is you have to give them new tools. You have to actually be able to show them that, yeah, this is what worked for you here, but that's going to probably trip you up if it's only your way for whatever that is, or you try to just tell someone to go follow you. That's probably not going to work. And then how do you hold people accountable, both the ones you're training, and then how do they hold people accountable? Because most people these days don't want to call anyone out on doing anything in a store. It's perfectly all right for someone to treat someone badly or something. Just, yeah, I don't want to get involved. Which is funny when you look at how quickly people are jumping in on posts and they haven't even read a post, right, and they hate you already. So when you're thinking about that, I hope you'll consider my online training, Sales RX. I have a special offer at the end if you want to really change the course of your business for the better. So stay around for that. And yes, exactly, Derek. It has to make them feel that they actually are participating, because they are. That's really kind of it. Bravo, bravo. So I have several questions here. They're all over the map. Some I have no problem answering. Other ones I'm going to ask you to give us your tips. So get ready to type in. And as always, do me a favor and give me some thumbs up to know that you're out here. All right. So Lauren says, what are some fun monthly sales contests to do with staff? We try to do team-oriented ones, like increasing a looker to buyer or prizes for numbers of shirts sold. You know, if the staff wears one of our shirts and then sells X many of the same shirt that day, they win a prize. So I love that. I want to find out from you. What do you think is a great monthly sales contest to do with your staff? Type it in. This is the power of having a tribe of people who are like-minded. So what are your fun monthly sales contests to do with staff? Now, I will say that I am not, Lauren, as much of a team oriented type of guy because of my personality. It's I did it. I did it. I want credit that I did it. So if you went into stores that I managed, you would usually see all the awards that I got on the wall behind me, because it was very important that I did it. So how do you do that in a team oriented promotion is really hard, because they don't get a chance to crow like that. I did it, I think. So consider, like, the first person who sells an X and a Y gets something. Can also be item specific, like you've got there. Could be, I think, giving a lottery ticket to the first person that hears, that gets somebody to sign up for your mailing list, or a pizza party. Ask them. That's the other thing, Lauren, that I can come up with a million things, but if they sit there and they're like, I don't care, it's kind of like putting a carrot. We think, oh, I'll just reward them with money. Money gets old. And now people will flame me, I'm sure, as well, and say, no, we have to give them money. Money is not always the case. In fact, in many cases, giving somebody a chair or something, if you knew they're new to their house, that could be really amazing. So how do you end up with it? Maybe they end up getting little, for every X something, you get an entry into a drawing, and then that drawing is something that's great. I know a lot of people who swap out restaurant for merchandise, gift certificates, back and forth. That's one way. But I just think that you are a very creative person. I think some of you out here will also be typing in here. So, what do you think is a great sales tool to do? But I think the key to all of it comes down to, is it raising our sales? Is it raising our average number of checks? That's what I want to reward. But there could be some fun ones, like, the first time that someone says the word wow, a customer says, wow, this is an amazing experience. That might be something you just walk up and do it. So there's many ways to do it, and we could brainstorm about it too, because you're a Sales RX user. So we could certainly take that offline. But I'd love to have your comments in below. What do you see? All right. Bob from Chicago says, is there any way to sell more gross profit out of a store other than selling like Walmart's aspirin or shampoo? If no Walmart product is received from the delivery truck, is there another way your store can make gross profit? So, raising gross profit off a private label, that's a lot of people. But I think unless you've got a really high number of items going out the door, it's going to be really hard, because you're now making your store really probably pretty generic. You raise gross profits by selling more margin items to more than one customer. In other words, get you 3 out of the door instead of 1, because all that it took you to get that person in the door, that first sale, that's where all your profit went to, is trying to get someone in the door, especially if you used a discount or something. So the way you make that back is they buy at least 2 items or 3. Now, a lot of people shy away from that. Oh, that's pushy. No, that really isn't, because whatever you sell should be a system. It's one of the things I run into when I work with in the hair care region with salons, and the salon owners are trying to sell retail, and the stylists are like, oh, well, they have their stuff. It's like, not really. They want to get their hair cut. They want to look just the way that they did when they walked out the salon, and that's your reputation. So it should be a system. You need the shampoo, the conditioner, and you need the hair dryer, whatever it's going to be. And then you work everything into the conversation at the chair. And that seems pushy. Well, is it? Because I think if you're really looking to raise margin, it's how do you end up taking what makes the better product in your store together as a system or as an outfit or something like that. I think that makes a big difference. Hey, Dan, glad you're from Philly on work commute. My goodness, it must be early. All right. Complete the picture. Thank you, Stacy. I think, and it's been so long since I've used this. It's not pushy at service. Exactly. And Stacy does a great job up there in Saratoga. Joanne says it's time for me to make a cell phone policy for employees. I think was having a phone station. I've been somewhat lenient while customers are in recently. Different things have come up, like a loud announcement on an employee phone, or it rings over while they're overlooking at a phone. I use my phone a lot for business and either keep it in the office or behind the counter in a separate area. I've been asking employees to do the same, but now I'm ready to have a handwritten policy. The only thing is, Joanne, you can write policies to your blue. If they don't want to do it, you're stuck between either a will or a skill issue, right? The skill is, when you come in, I want you to take it and I want you to put it in the locker. That's usually where most people would say, if they're going to be strict about it, you have lockers in the back, and that's where they put it in their locker. If you're not strict about it, you say, okay, you can use it on your break. But do you really want to be policing their phones? I mean, it may happen 1 or 2 times, but if you're hiring anyone under, let's say, 30, the phone is very much like part of them. So taking it away in a lot of ways might end up getting you higher turnover in the long run. So I would encourage you to think about long and hard about it. Do any of you have any great policies? Do you let people use their phones on the floor? I'm seeing more and more people are, because they're using apps that help them manage tasks, and that ends up being able to get information quickly. So I don't think it's about the policy as much as how much do you want to make this an issue? Because I think it can make it much harder on yourself. Even if you come up with an ironclad program, what are you going to do when they say, oh, I forgot, and your best salesperson, and you've written this, you'll be reprimanded and fired? Or worse, when you violate it, are they going to get rid of you? I hope not. Jane, any guidelines for exit strategy? You should definitely hire someone to look at it. The International Business, there is an association for this, of business brokers. I think it's IABB. There's usually one in your area. You can go online. You can get a free consultation with them. Don't try to do it on your own. The whole point is you've got to structure your accounting so that it looks right. There's a lot of things that you have to move to make sure your personal items are off of your books for at least 2 years. And it's a process. It's probably going to be 4 to 6 years to be through there. And just be careful that a lot of times we think our businesses are worth more than they actually are. If you are the only one, and you are the one who has been doing this forever, and you only have like 1 employee or something, it's going to be really hard to make much money on, compared to someone with 3 stores, and they've got a program and they have a system where if the owner isn't there, the stores go on. So a lot to think about, but as a representative from IABB can help you with that. All right. Bob, I hope that helped. Kathy says cell phone in general, what do you say? In general needs to stay put away. Okay. Well, again, Hallie says yes, because I communicate with them during their shift. There you go. Dan, verbally suggesting phone be used for customer assistance only. Yeah, I think that, and one more from Lori, as long as they work hard and get their work done, I don't mind them texting here or there. But if they're not getting their task done, then I say something. Great. I just think it gets really rough when you come into an ironclad policy. I've done that with vacations, at the holidays, like you can't take a vacation the week of Christmas, right? And invariably your best person their mom or dad, who's they've already said, "Oh yes, I'm definitely not going home. I'm not going home." Mom or dad surprised them with a ticket home, and now you're caught. You've made this ironclad rule. So, are you going to fire your number one best uh, employee? Probably not. Now you have this gray zone that you've created, and it looks like you fall back on your word. So why go there? Try not to get absolutes. That's what I think. Kim says our local mayor and council. This is kind of a long one. Our local mayor and council want to raise our resale tax amount by making a business district in our town of 2,300. The district would not include all business towns, just the ones in the new business district. Our town is a tourist destination, and my main concern if it's a wise decision to raise any taxes during this economy. My family owns two businesses, so will be charging the higher tax. In your opinion, should we, along with other business owners, try to fight this? I don't know why you would, Kim. I mean, it's there to help you. It would be one thing if they were gonna tax you and it was gonna go for the new mall. It was gonna go for the new Walmart down the way. I'd be like, "All right," I'd be pretty upset about that. But in the end of the day, again, okay, so you fight it and you win, and they put no more money around your business district. Now, what? Because you're telling me it's a tourist destination, 1%, no one is gonna notice 1%. No one's gonna come to your city and go, their taxes went up 1%. What is that? Oh, that's an extra penny a dollar. Wow, that's outrageous. They don't do that. And one of my first accounts was a little hotel in Newport Beach, California. You know what their occupancy tax there was like? I think by the time it was all added up, like 20%, because visitors are going to pay that. And they don't actually see all the little things that make it up. And rarely do people come back. So I wouldn't make it a really hard and fast rally. I think I would just be more curious. How are they going to do it? What are they going to do? A lot of business improvement areas have new staff that comes in that helps with marketing, etc. But um, I wish you well in that. David, how often should you make social media posts and boosting amounts? So, David, again, it kind of comes down to your comfort level. I have do 8:30 in the morning for me because most of you are getting to your stores. Although on the West Coast it's 5:30 in the morning, but usually that's usually a good time for my audience. And then I usually go back around 5:30 or so. I try to do a mix of live videos, my blog posts, because I want people to go read. Because for me to write it in a blog post is usually too short, so I'd rather you go read the answer and get inspired by that and comment along that. And then if I see it's taking off, I see the engagement is decent, then I'll throw a little bit more money only to people who follow me. But again, even $5 in this day and age, that's what you're gonna have to pay. So I hope that helps. Uh, oh, here we go. Going back to exit strategy. John says generational equity does free seminar about exit planning. They'll direct you what you need to prepare and help you take to market. We went to one of their seminars a couple of years ago. It was very interesting. Excellent. Yeah, it's not something that when you finally reach that point, you're like, oh, I'm out next week. It's like, it doesn't work that way. So I hope you help that. I hope you take a look at that generational equity. And by the way, if you like what I have to say, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're out there. It's also free to share with your friends as well. So there you go. Tommy asks your thoughts on the wisdom in name, and this is it. And then I got a little special offer I'll tell you about. So Tommy says your thoughts on the wisdom in naming your business something people can't pronounce or don't know what the heck you sell. I remember serendipity used to be a common one that I made fun of many years ago. That's so funny. I had a cannabis retailer, and he had this fancy name. In the text, the E was backward. And I said, how do you pronounce this? And it was something totally different. And he goes, oh, it comes from Old English. It's Gaelic English. So I go, I don't care. I said, if I can't say your name, why would you name it that way? Well, it makes us different. I go, no, it makes you the place down there. and and so I would agree the idea that if you're going to name a business, it's always important that it doesn't always have to say what you necessarily do. But if I just call it Tommy's, what the heck is that? Now, if you're in Los Angeles, Tommy's is hot dogs in downtown LA. But for most of us, I think you want to get the name to let us understand, gracious home or fancy lighting or even Bob's Eats. At least that's a restaurant, not just Bob's. So I hope that helps, Tommy. I'm figuring maybe you're thinking about either opening something or changing names, and always think twice before you think of changing the name of your business, because it really can be confusing for your customer. All right. So, those of you who stayed with me to the end, and I appreciate it, we're already at the 20-minute mark. I'll let you know that in the next few days, I'm going to be doing some more live videos to come up with one um, question people are asking me, and then I'll be building to that, because this week we're starting one of our August sprints. It's a small group of retailers who will join me, and they start Sales RX, my online retail sales training program. You'll get 3 additional weekly group coaching calls, a custom training plan, and the ability to upload your onboarding and product knowledge videos. It's a new feature we're going to be talking about. But we only do a couple a year. So we do one in January, do one in August, to get you ready for the holidays. And it's for you if you know that you need training, you're looking to get everybody on the same page, you know you're capable more, and you want a proven system of how to convert more lookers to buyers. So I will put the URL in there. No, I don't give you a discount, but you can pay $1 today, hold your place, so that when it fills up, when we start on Thursday, we'll charge you the regular amount, and that'll be a monthly subscription. And if you don't like it in the first 30 days, just let me know, and all the risk is on me. But I can tell you, I get calls from all over the world, literally from all sizes of businesses, big and small, and people are looking for this magic bullet. Like, if I just call Bob and I talk to him, it's like, yeah, that's not it. I already know it. I already know it. And the thing is that knowing isn't doing. So you may have heard me talk about customer experience. You may have seen some of my videos about greeting a customer something. Doesn't matter until everybody is doing that at like 95%. You don't have a system. You've got a nice to know. And if you have training without consequences, then it's not really training, right? You think of baseball players right now, baseball's really big. The consequence of them not training enough is what? They lose the game. If they aren't working together as a team and they all know what the rules of the game are, the plays at second, they don't have to think about it, because the synapses are like that. If they aren't doing that, they're going to lose the game. Is it any different in your store? You can have somebody, I was going to talk about this later this week, but you can have somebody who's really great on the floor, right? They own the floor, right? They walk on and they talk to everybody and do it great. But the problem is nobody else has a chance to shine. So everybody else is doing tasks around them. Do you think they're going to hang around like that? If you don't develop them, if you don't give them a chance at the bat, do you think they're going to hang around? I can guarantee you not. And even then, how do you let them shine if you're not ending up encouraging and holding them accountable for what you're teaching? So if you're interested in that, I will put the link below, and you'll be able to find out more. And more importantly, on all of that is, there's no two ways about it. The news media is trying to convince us we're going to have a recession. I don't care if you're left or right or blue or red. No one wins in saying that over and over again. No one wins talking about supply chain. No one wins about how it sucks to be you. All the customer cares about when they walk in the door is, I am tired of being in my kryptonite world. I want to be a hero. I don't care what the product is. What does it do for me? To get to that place takes a lot of work. I can tell you that. It takes a lot of work with your crew, because a lot of your crew is going to do what? Sell from their own wallet. They'll sell what's on sale, and the best stuff sits. So your margin gets eroded, and then they get excited. Oh, this is 50% off. Isn't this great? Yeah, not really, because all of that money that you should have made, you didn't. And now you're just swapping cheaper product in and out, and all of the takes to merchandise it and everything else. And then if you're selling it at a cost with free shipping or something back and forth, look, the target is right in the middle. That person that walks in today, right in the middle. Are you giving them an exceptional experience? Not, hi, can I help you find something? That's not exceptional. There's nothing exceptional in that. If you can go through and make somebody else's day first, you're going to make more money. And that's basically what I teach. We help you to create a store that your customers will love even more. If that resonates with you, sign up. Let's get going on Sales RX. I want to make sure that I get all of your questions answered. So if you ask anything in the questions below, I will try to answer it as well. Thanks for joining me today. And I'll probably see you tomorrow in the next few days as I share some more knowledge with you. Thanks for joining me.